Music? It's winter in Ontario, Canada each year. People get separated from their groups and stranded in the wilderness, facing the freezing temperatures without any gear or experience. The chances of survival quickly. Fade to Music Zero. I'm DJ. From the Bare Essentials. And today, we are going to be surviving in freezing temperatures with no gear at all. Just what I'm wearing. I don't really know what to music do. It's starting to get cold and I definitely won't last tonight if I don't. Get a fire? This is not looking good. Oh my God. No way, this is really hard. Getting to a point where it's dangerous. Music. So this scenario is like you're out for a hike in the woods and you get lost. You get turned around. You don't want to keep hiking. You kind of want to stay put until you get rescued if you can. But what do? If you have absolutely no gear, just the stuff I'm wearing. So I've got no fire starter, no saw axe or blade. I have absolutely nothing. No pot to even boil water. I've got to figure all this out as well as figure out how to get fire. Right now it's about 9 degrees and it's supposed to get down to 16, feeling like 21. See? So the stakes are very real and very high here. I don't know if I'm going to succeed. This is a reminder, do not try this at home. Whether I fail or succeed in this challenge, you get to see exactly what went right or what went wrong, and why. So the absolute first thing I've got to do is try to figure out how to get a fire started. If I build a shelter and have no fire, I will not last the night. I'll freeze. And the hardest thing for me is going to be making this fire. So this whole challenge might end before it even music begins. So for full transparency here, I'm not wearing any crazy expensive clothing, just the right choice of materials with the right layering system. This is exactly what I'd wear if I was caught on a cold outdoor day trip to keep my hands warm. I have good old leather mitts with a removable wool. Liner underneath those, I have a simple merino wool liner glove, and this is mostly for when I take my hands out of my mitt to adjust the camera I'm wearing. My Bare Essentials Pure merino wool beanie with a very lightweight merino wool buff to keep my neck warm. My jacket is a very standard lightweight waterproof shell. These repel water and keep wind off you, but don't do too much for insulation. So underneath that, I have my absolute favorite fleece sweater. It's made of a stretchy polyester. Blend will keep me super warm and has a hoodie, which I'll definitely need in the nighttime. My base layer at the top is a merino wool mesh. The mesh keeps you super warm and helps evaporate sweat off your skin. My pants are the best winter pants I've ever owned. These are a tactical soft shell, meaning they propel snow and water, but are also extremely breathable and have vents at the side to help with that airflow. I've got the merino wool mesh base layer bottoms with no other base layers on top or below that, and I'm going au natural AIS, so no boxers for socks. I have a half and half, merino wool and synthetic blend over sock, and underneath merino wool, toe socks. I don't have any thick pair of socks because this is a scenario where you're lost while hiking or just out for a stroll. My boots are standard pack boots, and of course they have a liner inside. I have absolutely no other gear for this challenge, so this is my shelter location. If I could get a fire going, I don't think. A single fire is going to keep me warm all night, so what I'm going to do while the day is still early is try to build a fire against this rock and heat it up as much as I can. I'll try to burn a fire all day, so this rock really heats up as well. As the ground, I'm going to keep digging into the ground and building that fire lower and lower. Then when I go to sleep, I'll fill that in with the dirt above and some insulation on top, so both the ground and this rock are providing me heat throughout. The night I'll then need to have a second fire in front of me, which I tend to. All night long, I probably won't get any sleep. I have no idea if this is going to work. It's already freezing cold. My face is frozen. My hands are frozen. I got to keep moving to keep warm. Okay, these roots here, I'm just going to pull these up. Yes, so this is huge. These roots could be used to tie lashings for the shelter build. So I'm going to try to pile most of the dirt over here that way when I dig a trough for that fire. And I start to bury all the coals, I can put that dirt back on top. Then I'll put some pine boughs and insulation so the ground will be all nice and heated up below me. This all entirely depends on if I could get a fire, which is near impossible. No tools in these conditions, so I don't want to put too much effort into this. Right now, I'm really just trying to keep warm and clear space out so I can start my fire and something dry. Oh, this is perfect. This old dead tree is shedding its bark. This will make good shingles for my shelter, but also a nice base when I start my bow drill fire. There we go. That's awesome. So there's a real nice big one way up there. I need a long stick to get that down. So let's see if we could do it. All right, pretty good haul. And this one's going to be my base for the fire, nice and dry inside, perfect. I just thought of something. I should actually probably flip these around this way. So if it snows, it lands on the outside and doesn't wet everything. On the inside, I'm super lucky that there's lots of this yellow birch in this area. It's different from that iconic white birch tree that you'd find. It has this little yellow tinge. And the bark is different too. You have these little crinkly bits. Rather than those big sheets, I actually like this yellow birch better for starting fires because these little crinkly bits are super dried out. I'm harvesting this and putting it in my jacket so that my body heat keeps it warm and keeps it dry. It's the most important thing. When starting a winter fire, you need to have your materials super dry. This actually provides a decent amount of insulation too. If I didn't have this sweater underneath and needed more insulation, I might even do this. At nighttime, I could stuff my jacket full of this birch, so there's tons of moose tracks around here. And you can see the tips of these are still green, meaning they just came through and we're just feeding, just walking through, just eating all. The tips and the little buds off, and here are scrapes. They come by and they scrape that rack right on this tree sometimes to get that velvet off while it's still growing. It has like this live tissue, this velvet on there, and they'll scrape that against the tree, and then sometimes to mark their territory as well. So there's definitely lots of moose in this area. They can be very dangerous to humans, mostly just like with all animals. If it's a mother and the baby, they could get very defensive. So I've just got to really keep my eyes and ears out and make sure I keep my distance if I do see one. So I found a great spruce tree behind me. All these lower limbs are completely dead and perfect for bow drill spindle. The issue is I don't have a knife or an axe to carve these up the way I need it. So this is going to be one of the most challenging things I've ever done in the wilderness, and I don't know if it's going to succeed, but we're going to give it a good try. So I've got 3 different ones just in case 1 or 2 don't work, and the next things I'll need is a bearing block to push down. And because I can't carve into a base, I'll need to get a stick with a natural Y in it. Then I've got to just start drilling down on that, and hopefully it works. These great trees here have this kind of armor on them like that, and if you get a big enough piece and makes a really good bearing block, the problem is I don't have an axe to chip this out, so I've got to get lucky. That's actually pretty good. So the sun's out now, and the temperature has increased quite significantly. It was 3 to start the morning. It's now heated up to 8. But as soon as I lose the sun, and towards the evening, that's going to drop way down. Try to get an edge. No good. Okay, you can see it's starting to take shape. Not bad. So our spindle's looking great. We'll have this piece of birch bark to catch our ember. Now what we need to do is untie 1 bootlace here. This will crush into a bundle, and here's what we'll put our ember into. The spindle is not straight, so it will not stay in there. Man, I think I got to change strategies here. This stick is just dead. Nothing's working. It's starting to get colder. I got to put the shoelace back on and go find chaga. Chaga is a tinder fungus mushroom. It grows on birch trees. It lights a lot easier than this. I think that's my only option here. Following the big moose tracks, you can see the 2 moves split. Off one goes that way and one goes this way. Here's the little guy, big one goes this way, pretty deep snow. I really don't know entirely what to do. I'm looking for some chaga mushroom, but I have not found any. And now, I'm just following moose tracks just kind of aimlessly. I'm checking out every single bird briar tree around, and I don't see one sign of chaga at all. And the other fire, I gave it so many chances, and it's not working. It's starting to get cold, and I definitely won't last. A night, if I don't get a fire, this is not looking good. Look, moose laid down, right there. Oh, little mouse. Oh, there he goes. He's going up the tree. He climbed up the tree. There's his little footsteps. Maybe it's a sign. I'm going to find. The chaga. I'm not going to give up hope. I'm just going to keep following these tracks not too far from my sight. But looking around for chaga, my face is pretty much frozen, so it's hard to talk form words. Oh, what do I do? You got to keep going. Survival. Situation. Your mind just plays tricks on you. Non-stop, and it tells you, you know you're not going to do it. You're so stupid. I froze in the night, so just so everyone knows. So thanks again for watching.